SCPSL Tower Defense. I've taken some time to master my art in plugin development and made a quick little plugin that allows you to play tower defense in SCPSL, and it's fully customizable. You can create enemies, waves, and towers as presets and save them on a server. You can also send your friends the files to allow them to play with your creations as well. And most importantly, this plugin is fully public and open source, along with all of its general purpose dependency plugins I've developed, so any developer can use them and make something crazy. But without further ado, let's get into how to actually set up a tower defense game. So here's how you can set it up in-game. You want to be typing a path, which creates an AI path, which is like a waypoint system where the AI will follow. Yes, you have to manually generate the waypoints, I know. But type this command, and that'll create a path. There's no positional value yet, so you can do lpath to list all of the paths. To add a waypoint to a path, it's very, very simple. You just need to type AWP, which stands for add waypoint. I know it's a name of a gun. And then you have to type in the path ID. And what I'll do is I'll add a waypoint at your current location. And now you just gotta repeat that for the entire path. So every single turn, I recommend having something while there's like elevation change, like up these stairs. You know, you can kind of like pre-program the AI to walk this path just so they would know where to go. Just need to like keep walking in straight lines, make sure they don't clip on geometry. And let's say we're gonna end like right here. So the final waypoint would serve as the end point where you'll lose lives if enemies go past. And then the start point would be like right here, which is what I set it. It would be where the enemies spawn. The tower defense system is composed of enemies, towers, waves, and segments, and you will have to create them yourself. If you're not really technical, you can download some presets from maybe somewhere online. I'm going to provide some of the presets myself, just so it's like safe on the GitHub. I mean, there's also going to be other user-created presets. Maybe if this plugin becomes pretty popular. Let's start with enemies. To create an enemy, you just need to type ttmob, and this will create and save an enemy for tower defense. Provide a string ID, so it could be anything like zombie, or you can type anything like sniper or whatever. It can be whatever word you want, as long as further on you maintain the same ID for this mob. Let's create a enemy called fodder, and we actually have to provide him a name. The name will be what the NPC will be named, and then we will provide the role, essentially the numbers. So for example, 0 is 173, 1 is D class, 2 is I think is spectator. I guess don't use 2, you might break it. Yeah, like that. But I'll just use D class now. Actually, you could just type class D, and then we'll have a speed. Let's see, a speed value of 5, and then the health. Let's say health of 10, and then the money be like, let's say it'll give you like $1, and that will create an enemy. And it will actually create a file inside of your server to store the enemy. I'll show you where to find that file at the end of the video. So now you've created an enemy. Let's create some waves, because the waves handle the spawning of the enemies. To create a wave, it's really simple. Just type TDW, which will create a save of wave. Tutorial. We're just gonna give it a name. It says tutorial wave. All right, there we go. Create a wave with ID tutorial. Now, the wave will be created and it will have nothing in it. So this is how we add segments, because it's how you combine different enemy types in the same way. TTS, which will create a save of segment. Tutorial, which is the wave ID. And then we're gonna put an enemy ID, which is, let's just use the one that we just created, which is fodder. And then we wanted to provide how many enemies we want to spawn. Let's just 15. And then the spawn delay would be like the time between each enemy spawn. Don't set this to 0 or else it will lag out your server. Let's just say 0.5 every half a second. Now that's done. We have waves, we have enemies, and now let's go over how to create a tower. So TDTW will create and save a tower. What this will do is the same concept as creating an enemy. So it would be, let's say MTF, and then we give it a name, and then role would be like 4, which I believe is specialist, and then the weapon, let's say 20 for E11. The cost of the tower would be, let's say 300. And the range of the tower, turn speed is essentially the aiming speed of the tower. Let's just set it to 270 degrees per second. And then whether or not they shoot heads, let's just set it to true because I want them to headshot. All right, so now when you create a tower, it will automatically be registered in the shop. And to access it, you just need to press tilde key and you just type in .pur, which will show you the item list. As you can see, I have created a couple of NPCs already, and as you will also show your current balance. So let's just give ourselves some starting money. To give ourselves money, you just need to type a bal and whatever you want, like 500. Let's start with 500. As you can see here, it's been added to my balance. Now I can actually purchase. So you can type .pur. Let's buy our MTF. You will get a janitor keycard. Let's just drop it like right here. You'll be equipped with the weapon. Yeah, now that we have everything set up, let's start our game. So to start our game, you just need to type TD and then your path ID, which is 0 in this case. And then how many lives? Let's say 10 lives with the intermission of 5 seconds. And let's the wave. What is the wave ID again? It was like tutorial, right? There. And now it will start the wave. And the MTF will start shooting. Now we completed the wave because there's only one wave. We can add more by stacking more stuff after this initial like wave. You can stack as many as you want right here. Let's just say tutorial wave 1. Let's do that. Yeah, just make sure to clean up the bodies after a while, because it's gonna get pretty hectic like that. Yeah, let's move on to how to actually install and everything that is outside of the game. Welcome to my desktop. Don't mind the wallpaper, it's just some official art for my my game, SCP Equestrian. Let's talk through how to actually set up a server, because you need your own server for this if you're not like an admin already. Well, you can skip this part if you already know how to set up a server. So to set up a server, you need to go to Steam, make sure to like have tools on, and you can just search up SCP, and you'll have this SCP Secret Laboratory dedicated server. And you download this, and at least run it once, just so it can create the necessary files. I want you to hit Windows and R key, and this will bring up a run thing. And I want you to type in %app_data %, and this will take you to your app data roaming. I want you to find SCP Secret Laboratory, and just double click on that. And the only two folders that you'll have to deal with is plugin API and config. But right now we want to install the plugins, so I want you to double click on plugin API, go further into plugins, go into 7777, which is the default port. This is what you will see after opening it up. So you need a couple of things. I'll leave the links down below. Click on the links down below and you'll be taken to this page. Now, you don't need to do anything here except click on the latest release. Click on that and you'll be taken to this page or something similar. I want you to click on just the DLL file because that is the plugin file. Just click on that and just save it wherever you want. Make sure you can find it afterwards. The only file that you need to move into dependencies is Harmony. And for everything else, you'll just have to move them into the plugin folder like this. If by any chance that the SwiftTD plugin is above API, shops, or NPCs, you might need to rename these files and just put a 0 before it, just so it's in the correct order. Make sure Swift API is also above Swift NPCs and Swift shops, but usually this order would work. And you're done. You just need to run the server, and it will automatically load all of these plugins for you, and you will be able to do the in-game stuff. Well, you'll have to give yourself admin permissions first. And to set up admin permissions on your own server, you will need to go back to your SCP Secret Laboratory folder where you found the plugin API folder and just click on config and then click on 7777, which is your default port or whatever port you are using, and then click on config_remoteadmin.txt. And this will open up a text file. You don't need to do anything here. You just need to go at the top, enter, and add a line, space, dash, space, and then you will need to find your Steam ID. To get your Steam ID, you need to go to Steam and then click on Manage Account on the top right-hand corner. Click on Account Details. And what you need is this string of numbers right here. That is your Steam ID. I want you to copy that and paste it over here, then add @Steam:\owner at the end. And there you go. That's how you give yourself owner permissions. Now onto how to actually share your creations. You just double click on SwiftTD and you'll see 3 folders. So you have enemies, towers, and waves. So enemies will be, well, where you store all of your enemies, and it will be named by their ID. It's just this JSON file. You just need to like copy this JSON file, send it to your friend or whatever server file you're using. And when you're installing them, you just need to drag it into this folder. For enemies, in this case. Same works for towers as well as waves. Yeah, that's pretty simple, right? Happy tower defense.